All right, First Kings chapter 10. And when the queen Sabad heard the frame Solomon, considering the name of the Lord, she came to prove with her questions. And she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with commercial that bear spice and very much gold, precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she commanded with him all that was in her heart. And Solomon told her questions that were not anything hid from the king, which he told her not. And when the queen of Saba had seen all the Simon's wisdom and house that he had built, and the meat of the tabernacle, the sitting of the servant, and the attention of his ministers, and their appeal, and his cupboard of his incense by which he went up into the house of the Lord, there was no more spirit in her. And she said to the king, It was a true report that I heard in my own land of thy act of the wisdom. Howbeit I believe not the words until I come unto my eyes and have seen it, and behold, the half was not told me. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceed the fame which I heard. Happily are the men, happily are these servants which stand currently before thee, and that hear thy wisdom. Blessed be the Lord thy God, which delightful in these to set thee on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loveth Israel forever. Therefore made he the king of to do the judgment and justice. And she gave the king 120 talents gold and spice, and very great store and precious stones. There came no more such abundance of spice as these which Queen Saba gave the king Solomon. And the navy also of him the bright gold of Ormir, brought in from a great plenty among the trees and precious stones. And the king made of these among trees pillar for the house of the Lord, and for the king's house harp, also pastrines for singers. There came no such among trees were seen unto this day. And King Solomon gave unto the queen of Saba all her desire whatsoever she asked, beside that which Solomon gave her of his royal beauty. So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servant. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 666 talent of gold, based that he had the matchman, and of that foot of spice merchant land of all kings, Abra, and of the garment of the country. And the king Solomon made 200 target beaten gold, 600 shekels of gold went to the one target. And he made 300 shields of beat gold, 3 pounds of gold went to one shield. And the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory, and overlaid it with the beast gold. The stone had 6 steps, and the top of the stone was round behind, and there were stays on either side of the place of the seat, and 2 lions stood beside the stairs, and 12 lions stood there on the one side of on the other. Upon the 6th step there was not the like made in any kingdom, and all King Solomon drinketh vessel were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the furnace of the Libran way were of pure gold, none were silver, and it was nothing accounted of it in the days of Solomon. For the king had at sea navy of Tharashon, which the navy of Haram once in their years came in navy of the Tharash, being gold, silver, ivory, and appeal, and peacock. So King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom, and all the earth sought to Solomon to hear his wisdom, which God had put in his heart. And they brought every man his present, vessel of silver, and vessel of gold, and garment, and armor, and spices, houses, and multitudes aright, year by year. And Solomon gathered together chariots and horsemen, and he had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the cities and for his chariots, and with the king of Jerusalem, and the king and silver to be in Jerusalem as stones, and cedars to be as the sycone, 3 trees that are the vales for abundance. And Solomon had horses brought out of Egypt, and yarn the king's merchant received the lin's yarn at price. And a chariot came up and went out of Egypt for 600 shekels of silver, and house for the 150. And so far the kings of Hades, and for the kings of Sorrel did they bring them out by their means.